What's up? It's your boy Matty Cuts, and today I'm gonna bring y'all super dope taper. So he went in looking like this, and then after the haircut, you know what they say at Matty Cuts, they leave looking better. So he left like that. So let's get straight into the tutorial. So it's gonna be like a mid-height taper. So I'm gonna go right at that temple area. I'm gonna go probably like at the one of like the highest part of the C cut, just to clear all that out. So just make sure I get all the hair. He did have some hairs like on his cheek and all that stuff. Try to get most of it out, but we'll focus on that later on. And I will have it too where I do line up his goatee and his mustache. So if you guys do want to see that, just stay tapped in right now. So then I go in with the shavers. I shave about 90%, but I'm about to do the temple taper first. I'm going to the nape, and then I'm gonna show the lineup and the whole lining up in the front. So right here I go with my Babylus open. And then I'm gonna go halfway and hit it halfway into that guideline. So there you go, I'm halfway. I'm moving a little fast in this video because I got so much content on here that the video got a little long. But don't worry, I'm gonna still shave it. So that's closed, and I'm hitting the most bottom guideline so that it blends into the shavers. So I went open halfway and then I closed it. There you go. I opened it up a little bit just because I was going to go right back up. I seen a little bit of discrepancy, so I'm just kind of cleaning it up right there. But the bottom line is that I went open, halfway, and closed. From there, you're going to kind of be the judge, and you can do that, right? You can kind of clean it up how you want. So right here, I followed it up with the trimmers just because there was a little bit of stubble in between the clothes and the shavers. So then I was like, the guideline that goes in between is a trimmer. So now I'm going to go with my half guard all the way open. And the guidelines that I'm making, they're about finger, just look at your finger and look at the width of that, and that's how big your guideline should be. So I went open, now I'm going halfway. Then I'm gonna close it right now. There you go, it's all the way closed. And I'm hitting the most bottom part of the guideline, right? That way it blends out. So I'm right there still hitting it. I'm looking like, all right, these are a little bit more of a blend. So then I go with my wall seniors. It's basically open, but I close it up just a tad bit, about like 1/4, and I'm just going in with my corners just so it can kind of pick up any little darknesses. And then I did close it a little bit more halfway, but that means that I'm being more careful with my corners right there, just so it can clean up. So now to debulk all that area above the half guard, I go in with my number 2, just to kind of clean it up. That way when I go with my 1.5, it looks a little bit cleaner, right? So right here I'm going with my number 2 open, cleaning all that stuff up, just debulking it, just so that it looks smoother when I go with my other guideline. So this is my 1.5 open, right below that number 2, and I'm just going at it, right? And you guys know how I do it. I go whenever it comes down to the 1.5, I go open and then I go halfway. So here's halfway. There you go, there's halfway. Then, as if you have been following the page, you guys can guess what the next one's gonna be. You guys can put in the comment. But it will be, there you go, my number 1 open. So it's the number 1 open, and we're using corners. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you guys are getting any knowledge out of this video. It really motivates me to drop more videos like this, and to just get better haircuts out there and provide better knowledge for you guys. So now after the 1 open, there's still a little bit of darknesses, so I come back with my half guard all the way open, and I'm being more careful when I'm going in with my corners. I'm just flicking up into it, and you can see it's already blending. Once you go in with the half guard open and you see there's still a little bit of darkness right under, you could close it up a little bit and still hit it with the corners just to kind of clean it up. I did see that there was still a little bit of darkness above the half guard open, so I just go right back up with the next guideline that's right above it, which is my number 1 open, right? So that's what I went ahead and did. Now I'm looking at the taper. We over here, chit-chatting. So I start lining it up, right? And I know I always do this whenever I finish my foundation. I clean up a little bit, I line it up. I'm like, because usually lining it up will pop out any like little indiscrepancies. So there you go, I kind of seen something around the area of the no guard open, so I went right back, touched it up. But just notice how I'm being more careful because I don't want to create a guideline. I'm going in there with my corners. So this is what I'm doing right now, is like just detailing. And you guys, Really, 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 if you guys want to go to that next level, you guys really do need to start detailing. It was a problem that I had when I first started, and it's all about just lever play, you know, just seeing where you're at. So this is my lineup. So I go straight in there, just kind of wherever the hair growth is gonna start. I try not to push nothing back, so just go in there, keeping it straight. And man, this hairline makes everything pop out. So just keep everything straight, and then we hit the vertical sidebars. There you go. We try to make it as, you know, try to make a nice little corner there. It should be simple. And notice when I'm using my trimmers on there, I'm using my I'm using my finger, one of my fingers, as leverage. That way the machine is not shaky or none of that, right? Even when I'm doing the shaver, I'm using like my fingers. I don't know if you can see, but it's either my middle finger or my index finger. I'm placing it on his skin, so I'm using it as leverage so that I have support. That way the blade is not so shaky, and I do the same thing with the machine. So I'm just kind of cleaning up any little things that way it looks a little cleaner, like the little stubble. And you can see, man, that hairline is really making it pop out. Right there's still some little hairs popping out, so I'm like, let me put the blade away. I bring the trimmer right back out, and I just take it all out. There you go. So I did all the lining up and the taper on this side, just so that you could get it all in one in the front. So now I'm gonna go to the back of the taper, right? It's gonna be the same process. So you get the same process that I just repeated right now. It's gonna be the same in the back. So I'm gonna do the back taper. So I'm going in with my trimmers, right? After the trimmers is gonna be my shavers, and we're gonna shave about 90% of that surface area. So I'm just going in there, cleaning up all the little stubble. You wanna make sure that you clean up all the stubble. That way the shaver can shave all that stuff out. Because if there's long hairs, the shaver will not get it. So yeah, I'm gonna do the back part, and then I'm gonna go into the front and do the goatee and the mustache. I was gonna show the other side of the taper, but the video was getting a little too long. And I know nowadays, you know, you millennials don't be watching the videos for too long. But if you guys want me to do a whole haircut and show you guys to every side and every aspect of the haircut, please let me know in the comments. Don't forget to please like, comment, and subscribe, because it motivates me to just drop more content and just go crazy with it, you feel me? So here I'm going again with my clipper all the way open. So there you go, it's all the way open, you know, setting my guideline about fingers fucking lip width, whatever it's called, I don't know. Fingers length width. Damn, I just said two things, but oh well, it don't matter. We're gonna go all the way open, and we go halfway. That was halfway, and then here's closed. So I got it all closed. Y'all can see, you know, I got a really good angle here, just so you guys are able to see this. I might be moving a little too fast, let me know though. And then after this, I'm gonna follow it with my trimmers. There you go. Just to get any little stubble, because he does have a lot of hair. So the haircut could look really good on here, but the thing is, you can also see any little things if you don't blend it right. So now I'm going my half all the way open. And then from there, what are we gonna do? We're gonna go halfway with the lever, halfway into the guideline. So right now is when we're gonna go halfway into the guideline. There you go. I'm gonna show you guys. There you go. Boom, 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 boom. Then I'm gonna close it all the way. I'm still going halfway. Boom. There you go. It's all the way closed. And look at the bottom of the guideline. Look how I'm going. So I'm not looking at the blade that's closest to the hair, but I'm looking at the blade that's inside closer to me. That's the one that's actually doing the cutting, and that's the one that you want to focus on where you're hitting it on the guideline, right? So now I'm going a little bit more corners just to kind of flick up. It's not taking it out. So what are we gonna do? I'm gonna follow it up with a no guard, and I'm gonna probably just close it up just a tad bit, just like a little bit of a 1/4, and I'm gonna go in there with the corners, and that should definitely help me take out the darknesses right there. So whenever something doesn't come out, like a guideline or something like that, just be patient with it. You gotta trust the process. If you see that is dark either below, then just go a guideline below. If it's dark a little bit above, then just follow it up with the guideline that's right above, right? So in this instance, it was my half guard. So it was my half guard closed that wasn't taking it out, but the problem was a little below. So I went to my guideline below, which was my lever all the way open, and I hit it with I hit it with the quarter just so it could blend out a little bit. So now I'm gonna go with my number 2, just to debulk all that area back there. Come on now, watch. And I'm gonna try to flick, that way it doesn't create too much of a harsh skyline. If it does create a harsh skyline after that, you just follow it up with clip over comb. Or if you don't feel too comfortable with clip over comb, you could use a number 3 as well. I like clip over comb because you can maintain the shape a little bit more. So as we did debulk everything. So now we're gonna go in there with the 1.5. Same process. So it's open, and then if you know that whenever I use the 1.5, I don't close it all the way. I'm just gonna go open and halfway. There you go. So it's halfway right there. I'm just gonna flick into it. And just to challenge you guys, what would be the next guideline? Obviously, the next guideline would be the number 1 open. There you go. And we're using just the corners, And to be honest, for me, the hardest part of the haircut was this guideline right here, right? It was the one in between the half guard and the 1.5, because there's so much more that goes into this one. This is the one that's gonna really blend it, that's really gonna make the taper look like crispy, you know? This is the one that's gonna kind of connect the 0.5 and the 1.5 all the way to the number 2. So after that, I'm using my my half guard, and then just using the corners. The reason why it was so hard is because no one ever told me, oh, well, I finally figured out, like, man, just follow it up with the guideline right below, you know, just go corners a little bit, just kind of point cut. Because usually I was hitting it with the 1, and then I'll close the 1 all the way, and I'll go too high. I mean, sometimes it would work, but for the most part, it's better to just go to the half guard all the way open and just hit it with the corners. As you can see, the tapers coming out a little bit better. And if you do need to on the half guard, when it comes down to this, you could play with the lever a little bit. You are able to, you know, close the lever a little bit more and flick up into there, just so you can make it a little bit more, you know, blurry. But this is something that you learn along the way when you start cutting different kinds of hair, densities, and all that stuff. So right here, I saw that when I was hitting the half guard, I was like, it's looking a little dark in between the 1.5 and the number 2. Let me just go right back up to my 1.5. I started using a little bit more corners, started flicking up, and I started just using my lever, right? So I went open and then halfway, and then I'm gonna follow it up with the number 1. So instead of fading up, now I'm down fading. And this is also part of the, when you just go back in there and you just start nitpicking at the fade, right? But at least we know where our guidelines fit and what's the next step we can use, because we have set our foundation and we know where the half guard goes, we know where the 1 goes, we know where the 1.5 is. You know, we're not just going in there and randomly choosing these numbers. We have set our foundation, and that's why we know what to use next. So then after doing all the cleaning up over there, I started looking down, and I'm like, maybe the bottom is a little bit dark on this side. So I went in there with my no guard open, and I just started playing with the lever, and I start using the corners. So now I'm gonna do I'm gonna line up right behind the ear, and man, this really makes the taper pop out. Sometimes if you're having problems with the taper and it's not coming out how you want, you know you're still there, just go and start lining up behind the ear. That's gonna help you, show you where any discrepancies are. You know, it really pops out any errors, but it also makes the taper look super clean, and it helps you take off your eyes from blending. You know, sometimes you need to give your eyes a break, come back to it, and then you're gonna be like, oh, man, I can make it fresh right here. So when you start lining up behind the ear, get comfortable, you know, move the ear, use your trimmers to just do all the lining, line it up, and then go right, follow it up with just cleaning it up with the blade. Watch, you're gonna see. So I'm lining it up right there, I'm moving the ear, and now I'm following it up. I'm cleaning up everything. Boom, 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 right below the line. Like, don't be scared to move that ear right there, because I know a lot of people that they get a little scared, or at least too, when I first started, I was a little scared to like just to, I mean, you know, you're new to it, so you don't know what to do. You don't want to be like, oh, I'm pushing his ear too down. Man, just grab that ear, push it down. It's not too much. If it's hurting them, they will let you know. So then you can see the when I lined it up on this side, taper's looking super fresh. So now moving in to the front when I start lining up the goatee, right? So you just want to tell him to push his head up a little bit, nothing too crazy, and just line it up. Just kind of make it look, just line it up around the, just so it looks cool, you know, so it looks pretty nice. So I lined it up and then I start cleaning it up. So and I start going on the mustache. Oh no, that's still top of the goatee. So boom, just make it look natural. And then on this one, it gets a little tricky, right? So you don't want to go too low because then it looks like that goatee is barely hanging on there. Just just kind of take a, not like a good guess, but just look at the mustache, the goatee, and see how full it is. If that natural guideline kind of wants to sit there, then just line it up to there. So there you go. I lined it up, and then I take off the little hair right above. I took a step back, and now like I could just refine this part and then just make it look straight as possible, and then round towards the outsides. Feel me? So I start looking at it, and then towards the left, right there, you see how it still looks a little weird right there? I'm just gonna round it out right there. I'm just clean it up a bit, boom, boom, boom. Then I'm gonna go straight to the mustache. So the mustache, the way he likes it is just kind of like, he doesn't like it too thin, but I'm gonna just make it a little bit thinner up top just to kind of clean up the little hair so that the mustache is gonna look even fuller and it's gonna look even cleaner. So I'm right there. You can see it's already looking better up top. So I line up the top first, and then I line up the bottom. That way it makes it pop out a little bit more. You guys are gonna be able to see a little bit more when I turn them around. You're gonna be able to see how it looks. Boom, boom, boom. Right there. So you see I'm not bringing it down too much, just a little bit. And I'm being very careful. And you can also see that I'm using my finger in the back as leverage, the same thing. That way the clipper is not just out there just hanging and shaking, you know. You want to use some leverage, and that's going to really help you keep control of your clipper. So you go out, tell him to just move his lip a little bit down. That we could get right under his nose, make it straight. That we're just kind of keeping it clean, just trying to make it look dope. And look, you better see right now when he looks himself in the mirror, he's gonna be like, look at this guy. Look, you see that like that? Let's see what we about to do over here. So we went from looking like that, we got him looking like this. So man, please like, comment, subscribe. It's your boy Mighty Cuz. The more you guys show more love, the more I'm gonna drop more content. Peace.